Want to do great on your test? Here's how to turn yourself into a super test taker. Tests shouldn't be thought of as a sprint. Even though you are on the clock and want to move quickly, think of it more as a marathon. There's a long way to go, and you want to pace yourself and preserve your energy for the long run. Try to sprint hard right out of the gates, and you'll burn yourself out before you get to the halfway point. And tired brains are more prone to making mistakes.
There's a perfume of a million flowers.
That's why not to take a test the same way you do your homework or classwork. Take a test like you're taking a test, using strategies that save you time, energy, and stress, and help you be sure of picking up the most points possible.
Bringing me a part of old Hawaii.
One of those strategies is to learn how and when to test the answer choices. If you were in a marathon and had a way to both move more quickly and save your energy, you'd do it, wouldn't you? Well, there is a way to do that with tests, but it takes some practice to get good at it. If you were going to play piano in front of an audience, you would practice first to be sure that your fingers caught every note quickly and with the fewest mistakes. If you played baseball, you wouldn't practice by taking one swing. You'd take practice swings again and again until you knew every pitch so well that they couldn't fool you anymore, and your swing was smooth as silk. Well, it's the same with a test. You want to practice so that when you see the tricky questions, you know when to test out the answer choices instead of just solving the problem the way you would in class. And you want to be able to do it quickly. Here's a practice one to show you what we mean. Let's say you came across a reading passage about Ben Franklin. See the question? It's so broad, there's no way to tackle this without diving into the answer choices and testing them out. So now that you know that's how you'll solve the question, how do you pick up the point as quickly as possible while saving your brain's energy for the rest of the marathon? Pause here to take a look and see what you would do to save yourself time and energy and still pick up this point quickly. When we come back, we'll tell you what we thought. How did you do? Did you see any ways to save time and energy? You can do that. See what a monster choice A is? Not only is that going to take you more time to read, but it's probably going to be harder to understand for a brain in a rush and will needlessly sap more of your brain's energy in trying to get it. Looking at just this one long answer might not seem like too big a deal, but over the course of a 2-hour or more test, these little energy drains really add up. Let your brain wear down, and pretty soon you're making mistakes even on easy problems. If you test out choices B, C, and D and find your answer, you might never have to read A. Sure, you want to be as careful as possible, and if you have time, go ahead and read A after you think you've found your answer. But if you're short on time and you're pretty confident in your answer, you might pick up more points by just dropping A and moving on to the next question. Here's a math question on a stem and leaf plot. We'll have you pause and give this one a try and see if you can find ways to pick up this point quickly while saving your brain stress. Pause now. How did you do? Grizzled veteran test takers have seen mean, median, mode, and range in the answer choices enough to know that mean will probably take the longest to calculate. So to save time and keep their brains relaxed and loose, they save that one for last. Let's try this one out. The median is usually pretty easy to find, right? We only need to pick out the middle score. Is that middle score 85? We didn't think so either. The mode is also usually easy to find. Do you see any scores in there that show up more than once? Well, there are 2 76s, and no other score shows up more than twice, so the mode must be 76. Look at that. You've done very little math, and already you've knocked off 2 bad answer choices. Now, even if you were in a rush or had to guess, you just upped your odds of picking up this point. Now, finding the range will take a little bit of math, but it will take a lot less math and a lot less time than finding the mean. All we need is the high score minus the low score. And there's your answer. Not even close to 85, so dump that one. Now, if you had lots of time, you could still test A and see if the mean is 85. But if you're short of time, don't bother. In the time it takes you to calculate the mean, you might pick up 2 or 3 easy points on questions down the road. In the meantime, you saved yourself time and stress, you conserved your brain's energy, and you picked up a point doing it.
There's a rainbow
Protect your brain from stress, and your brain will protect your score. Nice work.
bringing me a part of old Hawaii. There's a silver moon, a symphony of stars. There's a hula tune and the hum of soft guitars. There's a trade wind